Hey everybody, it's Ellen. Let's talk about something that's totally changed the game social media and how it's messing with our love lives, for better or for worse. It's like a double-edged sword, right? On one hand, it brings us closer, but on the other, it can drive a wedge between us. Remember the days when you'd actually have to, talk to someone to get to know them? You'd sit down, have a coffee, and really connect. Those were the days of genuine face-to-face interactions. Now you can stalk their entire online history before you even say hello. It's like having a cheat sheet for someone's life, but is that really a good thing? Social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok have become these unavoidable parts of our lives, right? They're like the new town squares where everyone hangs out, but virtually. We share everything on there, from what we had for breakfast to our deepest thoughts. It's like our lives are open books for everyone to read. And while that can be amazing for staying connected, it also spills over into our relationships. The lines between online and offline worlds blur, and sometimes it's hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. Think about it. How often do you check your partner's social media? Do you find yourself scrolling through their posts looking for clues or reassurance? Do you compare yourself to other couples online? It's easy to fall into that trap when you're constantly bombarded with images of perfect relationships. That constant stream of perfectly filtered photos and curated lives can create unrealistic expectations. We start to believe that everyone else has it better, and that can be really damaging. It can leave us feeling inadequate or envious, even if our own relationships are perfectly fine offline. We forget that what we see online is just a highlight reel, not the full story. But it's not all doom and gloom. Social media can also be a powerful tool for building connections. It allows us to stay in touch with loved ones, no matter where they are in the world. Online communities can provide support, advice, and a sense of belonging, especially for people who might feel isolated in their offline lives. It's a way to find your tribe, even if they're scattered across the globe. So, how do we navigate this brave new world of love and likes? How do we make sure we're using social media to enhance our relationships, not harm them? It's all about finding a balance. We need to be conscious of how much time we spend online and make sure we're also investing in our real-life connections. We need to be mindful of how social media makes us feel and make sure we're not letting it control our relationships. It's about using it as a tool, not letting it become a crutch. Remember, real life happens offline, and that's where the good stuff is. The laughter, the tears, the genuine moments of connection, those are the things that truly matter. Okay, let's be real. Dating apps have changed the game entirely. It's like ordering takeout for love. You browse through a menu of potential partners, each with their own unique flavor. You open an app, scroll through a menu of potential partners, and swipe right if you see something you like. Convenient? Totally. Romantic? Debatable. It's a new kind of courtship, one that fits in the palm of your hand. On the one hand, dating apps have made it easier than ever to meet new people, especially if you're not exactly the type to strike up conversations with strangers at the grocery store. They offer a platform where you can be upfront about what you're looking for, whether it's a serious relationship or just a casual fling. They've expanded our dating pools, allowing us to connect with people outside our immediate social circles. But here's the catch. With this vast ocean of choices, it can sometimes feel overwhelming. With so many options at our fingertips, it's easy to fall into the trap of endless swiping, always looking for the next best thing. It's like a never-ending buffet where you're always searching for the perfect dish. It's like we're constantly evaluating potential partners based on superficial criteria, like their profile picture or a witty bio. We might be missing out on deeper connections because we're too focused on the surface. And let's not forget about ghosting. It's become a common phenomenon in the digital dating world. Remember when people actually had to come up with excuses to avoid someone? Now, they just disappear into the digital abyss without a word. It's a harsh reality of modern dating. It's brutal out there, people. The anonymity of the internet can sometimes bring out the worst in people. But hey, dating apps aren't all bad. They offer a unique opportunity to meet people you might never encounter in your daily life. They can be a fun and exciting way to meet new people, and they've definitely led to some successful relationships. Many couples have found lasting love through these platforms. The key is to approach them with a healthy dose of skepticism and a good sense of humor. Don't take it too seriously, and remember to enjoy the process. Remember, you're looking for a partner, not a perfect profile. It's about finding someone who compliments you, not just someone who looks good on paper. So, swipe wisely, keep an open mind, and who knows? You might just find that special someone in the most unexpected place. Let's get real for a minute, folks. Social media is changing how we think about intimacy. We're living in a world where sexting has become almost as common as texting, and the lines between our online and offline selves are blurrier than ever. On the one hand, technology can be a great tool for enhancing intimacy. Couples in long-distance relationships can stay connected through video calls and flirty texts. Sharing intimate photos or messages can even spice things up for some couples. But here's where things get tricky. Social media is all about presenting a curated version of ourselves. The best angles, the wittiest captions, the perfect lives. And that can create a lot of pressure, especially when it comes to sex and relationships. We start comparing ourselves to the seemingly perfect couples we see online, and we might feel inadequate or insecure about our own relationships. And when we're constantly bombarded with images of airbrushed bodies and staged intimacy, it can distort our expectations of what real intimacy looks like. The key is to remember that social media is just a highlight reel. It's not real life. Real intimacy is about vulnerability, communication, and accepting each other's flaws and all. So, put down the phones, log off for a bit, and focus on building genuine connections with the people you care about. Section 4. Finding your tribe social media as a catalyst for sexual identity exploration. You know, growing up, I always felt a little different, and for a lot of LGBTQ+ youth, especially in the past, that feeling of being different could be really isolating, but social media has been a game changer, creating these incredible spaces for people to connect with others who understand their experiences. Before social media, finding information about sexual orientation and gender identity could be really difficult, especially for young people who might not have had anyone to talk to. Now, a quick search online can connect you with a wealth of resources, support groups, and role models. Social media platforms have become safe havens for LGBTQ+ individuals to express themselves freely, explore their identities, and find a sense of belonging. It's amazing to see people embracing their true selves online and inspiring others to do the same. Of course, there's still a lot of work to be done to combat cyberbullying and discrimination online, but there's no denying that social media has played a vital role in fostering acceptance and understanding of LGBTQ+ issues. It's given a voice to the voiceless and created a global community where everyone can feel seen and celebrated for who they truly are. Section 5. The sexualization of everything. Navigating a world of filtered reality. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The sexualization of, well, everything on social media. It's like we're living in this weird, hyper-sexualized world where everything is filtered, airbrushed, and perfectly posed. And it's not just celebrities and influencers, it's everyday people feeling the pressure to present this idealized version of themselves online. We're bombarded with images of perfect bodies, often heavily edited and unattainable, which can create unrealistic beauty standards and fuel body image issues. And when we start valuing ourselves based on the number of likes or comments we get on a sexy selfie, we're heading down a dangerous path. This hypersexualization can also contribute to a culture of objectification, where people are reduced to their physical attributes rather than seen as whole individuals. And let's be real, this affects everyone, but it can be particularly harmful to young people who are still developing their sense of self and their understanding of healthy relationships. So, what can we do? It's about being mindful of the content we consume and the messages we internalize. Let's support creators who promote body positivity and challenge unrealistic beauty standards. And most importantly, let's remind ourselves and each other that our worth is not determined by the number of likes or followers we have. Historically, beauty standards have always evolved, influenced by culture, media, and societal norms. What was considered beautiful a century ago is vastly different from today's ideals. We need to remember that true beauty and self-worth come from within and are reflected in our actions, passions, and relationships, not just our physical appearance. Education plays a crucial role. Parents, educators, and mentors should have open conversations with young people about the impact of social media and the importance of critical thinking. Embracing diversity and celebrating our unique qualities can help counteract the narrow definitions of beauty that social media often promotes. Practicing self-care and engaging in activities that boost our self-esteem can also help us maintain a healthy perspective on our self-worth. Community support and sharing our stories can create a more inclusive and supportive environment where everyone feels valued for who they are. Ultimately, navigating a world of filtered reality means staying true to ourselves and supporting each other in the journey towards self-acceptance and genuine connection. Section 6. A moment for reflection, social media, relationships, and you. So, there you have it, folks. Social media's impact on our relationships and sexuality is complex, multifaceted, and constantly evolving. It's a double-edged sword, capable of both connecting and isolating us, empowering and objectifying us. It's important to remember that social media is just one part of our lives. It's a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. The key is to be mindful of how we use it and to make sure it's not controlling us or our relationships. So take a break from the endless scrolling, put down the phone, and connect with the people around you. Have real conversations, share real experiences, and build real intimacy. Remember, the most important connections are the ones we make offline in the real world with the people who matter most.